Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, and it's wild card weekend. That's right, people. You thought our season was over. It's not, because we're wild card just like this weekend is. They're calling it Super Wild Weekend because the NFL, they like to play games. They add a game and then they make their games spread across to Monday. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about last week, how the season's ended, and about our matchups this week. And boy, are we fired up for these. I am as always joined by Jose G, aka Jose Gomes, and what looks like Gil Santos wearing a Connor McDavid jersey. It looks like, or something. I can't tell, but that's what he's wearing.
It's not a jersey for sure.
Because he has the week off, so he has to wear a hockey jersey because his team's off this week because he's got to bye, so he's not ready to go out and get all fired up about his team. But we'll talk about his team next week, depending on his opponent. But for now,
we're resting his toe. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. He's resting Aaron Rodgers' toe. Bakhtiari's getting another week off. Alexander's gonna get a week off. He's resting all his guys to be at full strength so they can choke again in the AFC Championship. But we'll get to that later. When they play. But now let's start with Wild Card Weekend. We are going to start with the Saturday game. The Las Vegas Raiders, who made it in on a last-second overtime field goal because the dumbass San Diego coach who likes to play chicken decided to call a timeout and cost this team a playoff spot. So they go to Cincinnati to face Joe Burrow, Chase, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, just for fun, we're going to give you the spreads of these games. Cincinnati is a 5.5-point favorite. I will start with Jose. Who do you like in this game?
It's a tough game, and the Raiders are playing good football lately. They're playing playoff football. They not sneaked in, but they won their way into the playoffs. I thought there was going to be a tie. I thought both the teams were going to make the playoffs last week.
It looked that way till the timeout got called.
Until the timeout, yeah. So, but I'm going to go with Cincinnati in this one. I just think Cincinnati has more firepower and more offensive weapons than the Oakland Raiders do, and I think Joe Burrow will outperform. They're both rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs, first time playoffs, but I think Burrow has more offensive weapons, and so I'm taking Cincinnati in this one.
Gil.
Before I even continue, did anybody did anybody ask the coach why did he call that timeout? Because I'm very curious.
He says that he didn't like his defense that was on the field at the time.
For what? For a kneel or for like a little run?
It woke Oakland up because then they decided to run a play. And then once they ran the 10 yards, they said, okay, let's just go and win the game. So it made no sense because it looked like they were playing for the tie. They were on the 50-yard line, looked like they were going to kneel. The guy calls a timeout. Oakland says, the hell with it. Let's go and win the game. And that's what happened.
Well, I think Oakland's not going to get lucky on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati has, like Jose said, all the firepower. Chase is dangerous. Stopping him down would be a nightmare. Burrow's going to smoke a couple of cigars. I got him. Will they cover a 5.5? I don't know. It might be a field goal game.
I think it'll be close.
It'll be close, but maybe even a 6 by a touchdown, something like that. But I think Cincinnati, and they're at home too. They're hypered. I think I'll take Cincinnati.
Okay, so this game I thought about long and hard. It was by far the hardest game for me to pick. I've seen teams like Vegas get into the playoffs last second and then go on surprise runs. We've seen it before with the G-Men, as Gil knows. We've seen it with the Packers, as Gil knows. We saw it with Tampa Bay last year. So Burrow and Chase are incredible. Burrow threw for 971 yards in his last 2 games and 8 touchdowns. He was incredible to end the season. But Cincinnati hasn't won a playoff game since 1991. They're 0-7 in that time. The Cincinnati Bengals have rookies in the playoffs. Their defense is questionable. I had to take one upset, and I'm going to take the Raiders. Derek Carr has waited a long time for this moment in this game. There's something about this team. They got an interim coach. I think he's the first intern coach ever to make the playoffs. And I just think they're playing riverboat gambling right now. They just have nothing to lose. And I just think that they might jump on Cincinnati, and then Cincinnati gets nervous and scared, and Raiders pull an upset. So I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one. To the Ice Bowl. Oh, I'm going to love talking about this one, as the Patriots, for the third time with rookie quarterback Mac Jones, go to Buffalo for the second time to play the Bills. The Bills are a 4-point favorite. We are expecting sub-zero wind chills in Buffalo, 30% chance of snow. Before I get into my analysis, I will ask Gil who he likes in this game.
Well, I sure like the under.
Yes, 100% under. Yeah.
You know what? And because of the weather factor, I know I took Josh Allen to be the MVP, which is, he's not going to be. It's going to be Rodgers.
Yeah.
Or Jonathan. No, Jonathan.
Or Brady. It's only
happen.
Rodgers and Brady now. That's it.
I was going one way, but because of the weather, I don't like Buffalo's running game. I think they're soft on the running game, and this game's going to be won by the ground. So I'm going to switch my pick, and I'm going to take New England.
Jose.
I disagree with Gil. I think Buffalo's running game lately has been improved. Breida, Singletary, Moss, they've been running the ball. They've been rushing the ball more with Josh Allen as well. And I think this is a one of the games that if Josh Allen is going to be a superstar in this league, I think this is the game that he needs to show up and prove himself to the NFL. So I'm taking Buffalo in this one. I think Buffalo at home, they should win this. I think the Mac Jones is not going to be ready unless they run the ball, and they're running the ball efficiently against Buffalo. I don't see New England throwing the ball against them. And if I was the Buffalo coach, I would be stacking the box against New England. I'll be forcing Mac Jones to throw the ball, especially in his first playoff game. So I'm taking Buffalo in this one. I think Buffalo's proven already. They made it to the AFC Championship game last year. So I don't see why not they don't do the same thing this year.
Very tough game. Both Mac Jones and Josh Allen struggled mightily in the last 4 games. Josh Allen, who was drafted to be a good quarterback in the cold and snow, has struggled mightily in the cold and snow. He has a 46% completion percentage in his 3 picks. He played Atlanta. Buffalo won the game, but he was awful, throwing 3 interceptions. And of course, we all know about the snow game or the wind game where they lost 14-10, where Mac Jones threw 3 passes. However, I will give credit to Sean McDermott. When they met in New England, he made adjustments. They stacked the box. They forced Mac Jones to throw the ball, and that led to a Buffalo victory. I expect the exact same thing to happen in this game. They are not going to let New England run the ball 58 times. They're going to force Mac Jones to throw it. He has shown his rookiness lately with a lot of interceptions and turnovers. The only question mark with Buffalo is, can they get enough of a running game? And will Josh Allen be able to throw the ball without turning it over in the cold? I haven't seen that yet, but this is a massive game for the Bills franchise, and they have to win this game. So I'm going to take Buffalo because, boy, if Josh Allen doesn't win this game and they just paid him $45 million, Buffalo's in a lot of trouble. They got to win, and they got to win now because they're going to have to lose a lot of their players after this. So I expect Buffalo to win this game just because they really have to. Could be heads rolling if they don't. To the next game, the Philadelphia Eagles. Gil Santos, congratulations. The Eagles made the playoffs. Jalen Hurts made the playoffs. I think he was the main reason they did. And the main reasons why the Indianapolis Colts didn't make the playoffs is because the Philadelphia Eagles traded Carson Wentz to Indy, and they missed the playoffs because Carson Wentz is garbage. That's what happened. You got an MVP running back. You got T.Y. Hilton. You got a great offensive line and a great defense. You missed the playoffs. It was Carson Wentz. And I told people before the season, you trade for Carson Wentz, you're asking for trouble. Look what happened.
Well, what makes it worse is your playoffs on the line. And then if you played a good team and you lost, it is what it is. But losing to Jacksonville is just unacceptable.
And they didn't just lose. I watched that game. Yeah, they got destroyed in every aspect of that game. Everything. It wasn't just they got hammered by Jacksonville.
Indy never wins in Jacksonville. They're 0-6 against Jacksonville.
That's a 6th straight loss in Jacksonville.
It's the same thing with the Niners and the Rams. It's they own it. It's like they own them. They have something against them. I don't know what it is, man, but whatever.
And Lawrence must be getting some confidence off that one because now Wentz is below him, so you can't get any lower than that. So they go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who really found their offensive swagger. They played garbage teams. I understand that. There's a lot of injuries between both teams. We should see Fournette coming back, along with a bunch of defensive players for Tampa Bay. They met in week 6 earlier in the year. Tampa Bay won 28-22. Jose, who do you got winning this one?
I don't see why Tampa Bay shouldn't win this game. I think the main offensive weapons for the Philly is the rush game, and Tampa Bay's like ranked to the top 5 against the rushing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Brady's supposedly get some weapons back. Fournette, Gronkowski, Evans. He still's got those main guys there too. So I like Tampa Bay in this one, but it's not going to be a blowout like people think it is. I think that Philly defense will keep them in the game because they are a pretty good defense. But I don't see Philly keeping up like offensively. I don't think they have main except Jalen Hurts. They got Devontae Smith too, but I don't think he's a big wide receiver threat. So unless they're rushing the ball down the Buccaneers' throat, I don't see them having any chance. So I like Tampa Bay in this one.
Yo.
Yeah, I agree with Jose. You know what? If like Fournette back something, Tampa Bay would have been in a little bit more trouble. But getting some weapons back, and for Fournette's still not 100% that he's coming back. Mm-hmm. But like you said, the other game was what 28-22. They only won by 6, so it's not like they blew them out either, right? And but Philly has heart. They're the Rocky Balboa of the NFL. So I'm gonna take Tampa. I don't know if they'll cover the 8 though, but I'm gonna take Tampa, and Jalen Hurts will give him a run. He's gonna roll out of that pocket. Don't think they're just gonna run it down their throats, Jose, because Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that a lot of movements that can throw everything off guard. They can do bootlegs. He can threaten the run and then throw it right before he gets to the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of stuff that Tampa Bay has to be careful because he's a tricky guy. Comes up with some trick plays, but overall, defense-wise, Tampa's at home. They have Brady. Yeah. Even if the game's on the line, the ball goes to Brady's hands. We know who's winning it.
Yeah. I got Tampa Bay. Brady is 44 years old and just threw for 5,300 yards and 42 touchdowns. I don't think we'll ever see another athlete that plays this well at that age. I don't think we'll ever see it again. I think Gordie Howe was before our time. He was the last guy to do it. I don't expect a loss here. I think New England will spread the ball out and they'll handle Philadelphia. I don't know if it'll be a blowout either. Brady's going to want to make sure he takes care of this team because they lost to Nick Foles not too long ago on his old team. So he's going to be aware of Philadelphia's defense and how they attack him. He did throw for 500 yards the last time they played him. It's just a matter of whether Tampa Bay's defense can stop Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, I don't know if he can get it deep. So if it's short, then Tampa Bay should be fine. And the injuries. I mean, there were a lot of COVID guys. Philadelphia had a bunch of guys on COVID. Tampa Bay had a bunch of injuries. So depending on who comes back, Jason Pierre-Paul's questionable. If he comes back, that's a big deal because he can rush Jalen Hurts. So I expect Tampa Bay to win anywhere from 6 to 10 points, something like that. Maybe late. Maybe Philly gets a pad field goal. Tampa did control the game earlier this year, and Philly got 2 late touchdowns. So I expect Tampa to win this one. Now we go to the game of the week that we'll be talking about for a while and probably now and after the game's over. The San Francisco 49ers, led by Jimmy G, a.k.a. Jose G, who is the best half-game quarterback in the NFL. If you like half-game quarterbacks, he's the quarterback for you. He goes to Dallas to play a team that's equally inconsistent with an equally inconsistent quarterback. You never know what you're going to get from the Cowboys. Same thing goes for the 49ers. Now, the 49ers run game and defense is consistent. The quarterback is not. That's why they're 9-7. The Cowboys, same thing. They're in a weaker division. They have a better record because they're in a weaker division. That's these two teams. It's a 3-point spread. It's about as even as you can get. I'm going to start with Jose on this one. With Gil on this one because I already know what Jose's taking. Gil, who do you have in the inconsistent bowl?
You guys are really wanting to know my opinion on this one, aren't you?
No, because we know who Jose's taking, and I'm going to get my comments in after Jose makes his pick. So you go first.
To me, this was the toughest game to pick.
Absolutely.
It's so even where Dallas's defense, like I told you guys last week, they look impressive, but they've played unimpressive teams.
Yeah.
They look good. The Niners, I was watching that game, like Garoppolo is nobody, and then all of a sudden he's Superman, and then he goes back to can't throw again.
The Rams gave away that game. I don't care what anyone says. They gave away that game. And the coach running the ball 3 times in the last minute was ridiculous.
Yeah. There's certain things I don't get, but defensive wise, I'm going to take, I'll take the Niners on that. But Dallas has deep threats. They have, if you're down and you need to move the ball, Dallas has the weapons to move the ball, where San Fran will take will take 10 minutes off the clock to score that touchdown.
Yeah.
Because they're not going down the field. But who am I going to take? I can't screw up too many games because you're right behind me, no Reese.
I got 4 games. 4 games. Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
Jose, before I get into my diatribe, you go ahead.
Oh, I knew you were gonna take the Cowboys because you don't want to see the Niners against your Packers next week. But don't worry, we'll be there. Anyways, like Gil was saying, yeah, Jimmy G is you like you were saying, Jimmy G is inconsistent. But when he's on his game, watch the fuck out, because he, like the last 2 drives that he did in the first half, in the beginning of the second half, he threw the ball well. Those 2 picks, yeah, the one that he forced up, yeah, that was a bad pick. The one that Ramsey juggled around, yeah,
it was an overthrow.
He forced it, yeah, he forced it into George Kittle.
Yeah,
who
didn't make a catch, by the way. Didn't make a catch last week. That's got to be a first.
It doesn't matter as long as they keep but the Niners always find a way, it just shows how good of the team they are. I don't mean they're not the best team in the NFL, but they're a good team, and they'll find a way if they get a chance. If they're still in the game, they'll find a way to get that W. They needed that W, the last minute drive that they went down the field with 82 yards in a minute and something. You got to give them praise for that, right? So the defense, I don't see from what Dallas plays against shit teams, they're solid defense. But when Denver, I don't know if you guys remember, when Denver played them, they whooped their ass by running the football, they're spreading them out. So, and that's the Niners forte, right? So, but I doubt Quinn's probably gonna let them rush the ball. They're probably gonna stack the box and they're gonna force Jimmy to throw the ball.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, but it depends. It's like one of those games. If he can throw the ball well and find his wide receivers short passes and stuff like that, as long as he doesn't do he's always gonna have those stupid turnovers. That's part of his game. I don't know. Sometimes he just forces the ball where he shouldn't be forcing the ball, or he overthrows the wide receivers. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. You know who I'm taking. I'm taking my Niners. That's my team. I ride or die with my Niners, and that's the way it is. And hopefully they win. So next week we can have a nice Green Bay Packers 49ers divisional championship. Gil, we watching the game together and we're going to go crazy, bro. We're going to go crazy.
Yeah. So this was a very tough game for me to pick. Yes. If the 49ers win this game, it is a nightmare for Gil Santos. He knows that when he plays the 49ers, it's a nightmare matchup, even if he's fully healthy.
Not if I was coaching. I wish I could coach that game.
Yes.
Defense.
Yes.
Backing boxes. No, I'm running 9 at Garoppolo every single.
Well, the problem, Gil, is your rush defense is terrible. Well, we'll get to your rush defense next week. And if you don't want to play the 49ers, if you have a bad rush defense, and I'm no big fan of my team right now, but you do not want to play that team. You'd rather play anybody else than the 49ers right now. The Dallas Cowboys. This is the matchup if I'm a 49ers fan, I'm happy with this matchup because Dallas is a choking team. They're at home. They haven't had much success in the playoffs. And if you look at the Cowboys' holes, they have a bad rush defense. Not bad, but you can beat them with the rush. So to me, this is a battle of inconsistent quarterbacks against the Cowboys' run defense and the 49ers weak secondary. That's what this matchup is. Now, Trent Williams is back, so that probably means that the Cowboys are going to throw the ball a lot in this game because they're not going to be able to run very much. So it's the running game versus the Cowboys passing game with all their weapons. Jimmy G is going to make mistakes. I've watched this guy play in the last 4 games. He has 5 touchdowns and 4 picks. He is a very lucky quarterback that half of game has allowed him to win enough this year. Because if you look at the 49ers games, most of their games, other than against shit teams, they've won with one good half of football. They've also lost games with one good half of football. I watched that game against Tennessee, and I say to myself, if Ryan Tannehill can come back against this team with no running game, then I got the Cowboys. As much as I'd like to pick San Francisco, I just don't trust Jimmy G. And it's not like I trust Dak Prescott much more. But I don't trust Jimmy G in this game. He will not get away with throwing the ball 8 times to win a game. It's not going to happen in this one.
I love it. I love it when you go against
I got the Cowboys.
Look at Jose's face.
I got the Cowboys.
Keep going. I love it. You know what? You talk so much shit about the Niners. But they keep winning. So I don't give a fuck if
9-7 is keep winning.
Yeah, they made the playoffs, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's all that matters, baby.
Okay.
9-7.
They're inconsistent.
I've seen the freaking New York Giants at 8-8 and make it all the way to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl.
I have nothing to say about that.
Keep hating on the Niners. I love when you hate it on the Niners because you always lose. Anyways,
just so everybody knows, I'm not hating on the 49ers. If Kyle Shanahan started Lance Mania, I'd be picking the 49ers. I do not trust Jimmy G. And to me, they would have won that game easier with Lance Mania because they gave away the first half with the turnovers and terrible play. And that's what he does. He gets behind and has to come back, or they go up early and the other team comes back. That's what this team is. So I don't know what to expect from the 49ers. It's a big game for the Cowboys. Boy, oh boy, they better win this one. They don't win this one, heads are going to roll. And the Cowboys secondary, like Trayvon Diggs is just sitting there lifting his lips. Jimmy G? I get to play Jimmy G who overthrows everybody? Diggs is going to have at least 1 pick, maybe 2. So I got the Cowboys. To a game we're not going to talk about too much because it's a joke unless, some brave Steelers fan over here is going to take them. The Steelers are going to the Chiefs. This is a bye week. I got the Chiefs. They hammered them 36-10 3 weeks ago. It ain't going to be any different this time. It's the end of Big Ben. Chiefs easy. Jose.
I like the Chiefs to win the game, but it's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be closer than you think. I think the Steelers defense last week, they've been playing well, rushing they can rush the quarterback very good. And if they can force turnovers and keep them like in short distance, I think they have a chance to keep up with to keep it close. But I like the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Now, Jose's been saying for a few weeks now that the Chiefs defense, the Pittsburgh defense is good. So I went and looked this up because I haven't seen this. So I want to make sure before I said this. The Pittsburgh defense is last in rushing. They're in the bottom 10 in the NFL in both points and pass defense. This is not a good defense. They got G.J. Watt. That's their defense. And Minka Fitzpatrick. That's their defense. And they don't have anybody else. I've watched the Bengals kill them. I've watched the Chargers kill them. I've watched the Browns kill them. Or not the Browns. Their defense has gotten killed all year. So they're playing the Chiefs, and they're going to get killed.
They only give up, 13 points to the Ravens.
The Ravens are shit. Backup
the
quarterback.
Ravens are shit.
Backup quarterback.
The backup quarterback put up 30-something points against Green Bay.
Yeah.
So what's your point?
We'll talk about Green Bay's defense next week.
And no, I'm not. I'm just saying, the quarterback position, backup quarterback, he didn't do that bad.
If you're going to talk about Pittsburgh against Cleveland and Baltimore, there's no argument because they can't score. So that argument's out the window. But their defense is bad. They played Tennessee earlier this year at home, and they had some success against Tennessee. On the road, that defense is awful on the road. Awful. Just look it up. 34 gave up 40 to Cincinnati, 47 to the Chargers. They're a bad team on the road, and Big Ben can't score. So even if they get a few points, they're not beating the Chiefs. Gil.
I totally agree with you. The Chiefs are winning the game, but I think it's going to be closer than you think.
Gil?
Well, just to let you know, don't forget that the Chiefs' defense is ranked 27th in the league too, so they're garbage defense as well.
Yeah, but they don't have to worry about Big Ben scoring any points.
No, but the Harris can run if But yeah, I'm not saying the Steelers are going to win the game. The spread's what, 13, 14?
It's sorry, yes, minus 13 is the spread. Yes, it was 10 earlier this year, and I took them when they won against Pittsburgh earlier this year.
Yeah, they'll have their hands full to contain Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
But if Pittsburgh can score some points, I guess. But I don't know, because I'm taking KC. But
you're not sure about the spread.
I'm not sure about the spread.
Yeah,
it's a lot of points. But and like Jose said, I agree with Jose. I've seen Pittsburgh's defense hold their own, keeping them as much as they can. That Pittsburgh never capitalizes on it, right?
Yeah. That's the problem. Even if their defense plays great, they're still going to lose because Ben can't score. He can't get the ball down the field. So
that was a good story for him. He still got in.
Yeah.
It's his last hurrah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for the guy, but I think it stops here.
Yeah. What a game this is going to be. Two teams that are struggling to end the year. The Rams backdoored into winning the division because Arizona lost at home to Seattle and the Rams choked to the 49ers at home. Both teams lost at home to end their season, and now they get to face each other. The Rams are at home for this one against the Arizona Cardinals. Matthew Stafford is garbage. I'm sorry. You traded 2 first-round picks and a third, and Jared Goff. I don't see a big difference. Yes, he threw for 41 touchdowns, 17 turnovers, and 6 pick sixes is too much. It's the same guy we saw in Detroit with Megatron. Same quarterback. This time it was Cooper Kupp, who is the guy getting MVP talk, not Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp's getting MVP talk, which tells you something about their quarterback. So the Rams are what they are. They're playing a struggling defense in Arizona. Stafford in his last 4 games has 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Not good. Gil, who do you have in this one?
You know what's funny about this? Because if we talked in week 5 about this game, it was like a Super Bowl game.
I know.
The way they were playing was like, this is like a Super Bowl game.
Yeah.
And here we are into the playoffs. They're playing each other. And I think both teams suck.
Yeah.
They choke.
Yeah.
They're not, Green Bay, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Arizona, it's injuries. But the Rams have no excuse. It's Arizona with injuries. That's what it is.
Green Bay beat Arizona with one wide receiver.
Yeah, I know. I understand. That's where the tumble started for Arizona.
That's exactly where it started.
Yeah.
But to me, they're both garbage, both struggling. Like Arizona didn't look good either. You're talking about the Rams, but look
no,
Arizona.
I said both teams are struggling.
To Seattle, which I don't know. If I'm gonna have to pick one, I guess it's who woke up the best. And usually games like this, I just end up going home.
Yeah, pretty unpredictable game. Yeah.
And the Rams did waste some defense, good defense on Von Miller and Ramsey. You have to respect those guys too. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Jose, tough game. What do you got?
I like the Rams in this one. I think it's gonna be a close game. Kyler Murray's first playoff game. I don't know how he's gonna play it out and stuff like that. I don't know if D Hopkins is going to play too. That's another big key
I don't
loss.
think so. I don't think he's going to play.
So that's another loss right there.
Yeah.
Connors is a good running back, but I don't think they have that scheme to beat the Rams in the running game like the Niners do and stuff like that.
Right.
So I don't think they have the offensive line and stuff like that. So I like the Rams. I know Stafford's been throwing a lot of picks, but he's been in the playoffs, so he's got a little taste of it and stuff like that. But and I think they have a better overall team than the Cardinals. So I like the Rams in this, and OBJ is going to score a touchdown this one, and he's gonna do his thing. And and so I like the Rams in this one.
Well, OBJ was awful last week, and Matt Stafford just throwing the ball up to him. I don't know if it's made him worse or he's made OBJ worse. I don't know which one, but he's just tossing the ball up to him. That's what cost him in overtime. This is the perfect matchup for the Rams because I think if they had played any other team other than Philadelphia, they're in trouble. But they're playing Arizona, a team that they should be able to beat, even if Matthew Stafford turns it over. I mean, if you watch Arizona last week and even weeks prior, they're really having trouble stopping the wide receivers right now. I mean, they're having trouble stopping anything right now on defense. So I think that if they're going to win this game, it's going to be a high scoring, close game that the Rams win at the end. But man, Matthew Stafford's lucky because had he been playing any other team, I'd probably take the other team. But Arizona's playing worse than them right now. And this actually favors Matthew Stafford this game. So even though Arizona killed them earlier this year in LA got them back in Arizona later on in the season. So I think the Rams are going to win this game just because Arizona has too many injuries. A lot of main players out. Murray would have to play the game of his life to win this. And I don't see it happening. I got the Rams to win this game. I don't know about the spread. They're -4, but I got the Rams winning this one. Now, best bets of the week. We have no survivor anymore. It's just who do you like best of all these games? I'm going to start with Jose. Who's your best point spread bet of the week?
I like my Niners cover, and I think I'm now
+3.
I like
+3.
plus
Okay.
three. Yeah, I like my Niners covering the +3.
Okay. Gil?
And I also like Pittsburgh covering the +13 or 14, whatever the fuck it is.
Okay. Gil?
I probably would go with you know what? I think I'll go with the Rams. I just think
Rams
Arizona just
-4.
has too much injuries. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Yeah, with the Rams, it's an injury thing. Like had Arizona been fully healthy, that pick would be a lot different. They have too many injuries. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm actually gonna go with the Bills. I really think that it's more about that they really need to win this game, not just because of their situation, but it's New England. Buffalo's been tortured and just haunted by New England for so many years. And they really have to do this, not just to go on to the next round because of Josh Allen and their situation, but just to get that demon of New England off of their heart, off of their head. I'll take Buffalo just on that feeling that they got to get rid of New England, and that might give them a boost.
To me, that's fine. But the way the weather is going and the way I see the weather, that game's a field goal game, right?
Well, I'm hearing no swirling winds. So if there's no swirling winds, maybe Josh Allen plays better. My concern was the Atlanta game. If he throws 3 picks like he did against Atlanta, they're going to lose. So I'm concerned, but Jose's right. Their running game did improve and they're going to have to run the ball a lot more for them to win this game. If they try to go out there and throw 45 times, they could lose this game. They've got to mix it up because Bill Belichick is coming and he's going to go after Allen. So they have to mix in the run like they did in the second meeting where the weather was normal and they'll I think Buffalo will have success. I just don't trust New England. I think they beat up a bunch of bad teams. They lost to Miami last week. They played everybody, lost to Miami on the road. I don't like New England's chances on the road of winning a playoff game with Mac Jones. So I'll take Buffalo as my best bet. I know that surprises some people because of the way Josh Allen's played, but this is a big game for Josh Allen. He's got to show that he's the man and he's got to win this game. So that's our picks, guys. What do you guys think? This is for Wild Card Weekend. I know Gil's nervous, because if he'd rather see Dallas. That's pretty obvious. I'm sure he'd rather see the Cowboys.
He won't see Dallas. They'll end up seeing the Rams.
Oh, is that right? That's right. They would see. No. The Rams finished the top of the division too, right? So
Rams.
Yeah, but the Rams finished fourth.
They finished fourth, so it'll be the Rams.
Dallas finished third. Yeah.
Second or third. Yeah. Third.
And even the Rams is a favorable matchup for you. So you just don't want to see the 49ers. To me, you can beat Dallas and Green Bay. You don't want to see the 49ers.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Coach McVay. Thank you very much for celebrating your Higbee touchdown in the end zone and piss off the 49ers defense.
Hey,
thanks.
That's a great point. And you know what?
Pre-
This is a guy who traded 2 first-rounders and a third for Stafford. He threw Goff to the Wolves, right? And then when he has a chance to salt the game, if you watch that game in the last 2.5 minutes, they killed Jimmy G. They sacked him. They made him throw two incompletions. They punt the ball. and he runs it 3 times right into the gut. You got Matthew Stafford, who's supposed to be your savior. You traded all those picks for. You don't let him throw the ball to win the game with the division on the line. I don't like you, McVay. I really don't like you. And as Jose knows what I called him. I don't want to say it here, but Jose knows what I called him after that, as does Gil. So if you're going to coach like that, why did you trade for Stafford? There's no point. If you're going to be conservative, stay home. And of course, then the defense, who was dead tired from getting torched by San Francisco, blew some coverages, and Jimmy G had wide open throws, which led to the touchdown. I mean, that's what happened. So we'll see what happens. Very interesting games. Gil's going to be watching and waiting to see what happens. I know he doesn't want to see my team, especially, because if he sees the team, then me and Jose are going to have to do this. We're going to have to do this. Just to remind them.
We did beat them this year, didn't we?
Last second field goal. That's right.
Last second field goal.
Crosby actually made that
Crosby,
one.
He can't make 30. He can't make 30-yarders against Cincinnati, but he can make a 51-yarder against 49ers.
So that game's going to be tough and close. If they play each other, it's Green Bay's.
Hands down. I'm not.
But the Niners were stupid in that game. They should have killed more of the clock.
Yes, but that's Jimmy G for you.
The only thing I like about the matchup this year is if San Fran does decide to throw, the Packers have the number 1 interception team in the league.
Yes. But they're not. They're going to run. Remember the last time you played, Gil, 6 for 8, and we ran for 250 yards. That's what's going to happen again. You know that. Kyle Shanahan does not trust Jimmy G. I want people to understand that.
We do have Smith back. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right. The corners are back.
Yeah, you're fully rested. I think Tennessee and Green Bay have a big advantage. They really do, because they're going to be fully healthy. And
for me, Tennessee is if Henry comes back. If Henry doesn't come back, Tennessee ain't going to the Super Bowl.
No, but if he does, and they have their receivers and their defense is playing much better, Tennessee to me is the favorite to go to the Super Bowl. I really do like them if they're fully healthy. Green Bay, depending on the matchup, it all depends on the matchup, because Green Bay's run defense is not good. So.
I just feel the teams on the NFC look way better than the teams
100%. Way better. The NFC is way better. Yes.
Whoever comes out of the NFC is good, all good to them, because it's been a hell of a battle the whole year.
Yeah.
The NFC has been really tough this year.
Yeah.
AFC has been more predictable,
Yeah.
And KC choked a bit, but then, they're back on their feet. Tennessee, Baltimore choked. There's really no great consistent team in that AFC.
Yeah. So under a minute, guys. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you here next week. We're very happy for you to join us. We will get the show up this week. We had some technical difficulties last week that led to our show being taken off YouTube. I hope that doesn't happen again this week, but I'm going to work on it right away. But until next week, we'll see how our picks goes. Let us know what your picks are. I'm the Mouth of the North. This is Jose Gomes and Gil Santos. We'll see you next week on the Reese Report.